Corporate Governance and Wealth Creation in New Zealand, a book by Joseph Healy, ANZ's former regional head of investment banking, identifies key areas for improvement in New Zealand corporate governance. First, corporate values which reward company size, particularly assets and turnover, and have weak links to shareholder value. Second, poorly specified or non-existent return on capital objectives. Third, poor corporate discipline in ensuring that capital is allocated where it can influence required returns or mitigate business risks. Fourth, a sterile and often legalistic view of corporate governance that has more to do with the administrative duties of the board than their fundamental economic duty as agents of shareholders. In other words, a paradigm for governance that has more to do with compliance than performance. And lastly, a dominance of compliance-based accounting and legal skills over the rigorous economic thinking, managed risk-taking and entrepreneurial flair that are key ingredients in business innovation. Companies should know that profit forecasts using measures such as NOPAT and EBIT are not enough. They cannot track the true cost of capital expenditure because they ignore the cost of shareholders' equity. The ANZ Bank formally monitored economic value added, or EVA, from corporate capital expenditure in New Zealand. Joseph Healy concluded that there is a performance crisis around lack of EVA creation. He also asserts that the buck stops with the board of directors as agent for shareholders. Joseph had spent several years researching corporate performance in New Zealand. Could any of these weaknesses impact shareholders of the corporations for which you are a director? Implementing robust Capex management systems can create value by ensuring returns exceed capital costs. Effective infrastructures focus on innovative thinking, informed decision-making, and integrated value delivery. American quality control champion W. Edwards Deming argued that poor capital allocation stems from inadequate systems, while management guru Peter Drucker emphasized that businesses destroy wealth until they exceed their cost of capital. McKinsey & Company, international management consultants, wrote an article titled "Why Capital Expenditures Need More CFO Attention." They assert that CFOs must take a more constructive role by implementing a standard model for all projects. This model should identify detailed sources of value in the business case and include metrics that reflect that value for comparison with other projects. It also involves setting standard rules and parameters for key outputs and assumptions. They conclude that companies in capital-intensive industries need to get more from their Capex budgets. A leading US-based consultancy, called the Aberdeen Group, completed a survey of 167 organizations. They found that top-performing organizations take a beyond spreadsheets approach to Capex and financial planning, utilizing more robust functionality. Capex Systems Limited, or CSL, creates value through effective capital expenditure planning. CSL's proprietary software comprises the following integrated modules: Value Analyzer and Risk Apps, Business Case, Workflow and Database, Priority Setting and Budgets, and Project Accounting, Reporting and Management. Stratagio's interconnected modules in turn interface seamlessly with enterprise financial management systems and ERP systems. Capex Systems Limited, or CSL, is a Hamilton-based company. CSL specializes in supporting medium to large corporates with consultancy, training, IT solutions around capital expenditure planning, and business cases. Our proprietary software, Stratagio, promotes the creation of economic value for shareholders. It also empowers objective priority setting around compliance-based Capex, such as environment, health and safety, and regulatory-related drivers. Stratagio was first implemented at the Port of Tauranga back in 1999 and has since been subjected to many hundreds of upgrades and enhancements. Port of Tauranga remains a dedicated and exclusive user of this system and has for many years been a leading NZX performer. In its 2020 annual report, this company reported a 23.3% compounding return for shareholders over the past decade. Stratagio is arguably the most proven IT solution in the Southern Hemisphere, while developed specifically to meet the needs of New Zealand corporates. Business cases and Capex appraisals provide the crucial link between board and senior management's strategic plans and the organization's underpinning operating budgets, KPIs, and financial targets. Stratagio Value Analyzer automates the development of business cases. It provides vastly superior technology to in-house workups and spreadsheet building. These long outdated work practices are inconsistent, time-wasting, and error-prone, lacking the required agility. The real value comes from exploring risk and return metrics for multiple scenarios and alternatives, and from using software that provides powerful risk simulation capabilities.